It's time for Recipe of the Day. This is the tangy, cheesy dip that will finally break your spinach artichoke rut. I am not kidding. Okay, I've got to tell you, I love and stand by all of the recipes that I create for my websites, but every now and then one comes along that blows my mind, and this is one of them, broccoli cheddar pickle dip. Now, how did this dip come about? It came about because Marty, my boyfriend, doesn't really like spinach artichoke dip, even though I like it. He doesn't really like that briny artichoke flavor, and he's not a huge fan of Parmesan cheese, but I love that dip. And so I wanted to come up with something that had a similar idea behind it, a similar vibe, but had flavors that we both could enjoy. And so I decided to swap out the vegetable of the dip, the spinach, for broccoli, and swap out those artichoke hearts, which he does not like, for something we both love, which is the dill pickles. And then for the Parmesan, I mean, if there's broccoli and dill pickles in here, the cheese of choice must be cheddar. Am I right? And so what I did is keep the rest of the dip exactly the same. It's the same sour cream cheese, mayonnaise base that you find in a spinach artichoke dip, but it has the cooked broccoli for the spinach and the pickles and the cheddar. And oh my goodness, it is insane. I'll tell you, I have had this at my house for 3 gatherings now and have taken it to 2 potlucks. One of them was actually a dip party and one was a regular potluck. And every single time when I say the words broccoli cheddar pickle dip, everybody's head turns towards me. Conversation stops and people look because it just sounds so good. And then people line up and they start scooping, and I'm telling you, it lives up to its hype. Okay, I have raved about this enough. I'm going to dive into telling you how to make it. I'm just going to say one other thing, actually. This is actually good cold or hot. I know the normal spinach artichoke dip is served warm, but this one, I tasted it before baking it just to see how the flavors were the first time that I was making it. And I was like, oh, that's really good. Should I even bake it? And then we baked it and it was delicious. I actually preferred the cold dip. And then on a future testing, we did the 2 side by side, and there were 6 people here and there was an even split. 3 people preferred it cold and 3 people preferred it hot. And so I don't know what to tell you. I guess if it's going to be sitting out for a long time, then do the cold and then you're not worried about it staying warm. But if you're going to put it in a little slow cooker, or you're just making a small amount for 4 people to share over drinks before dinner, then do it warm. Right? And if you do both, at some point, please go to the comments and tell me which one you prefer, because we need a tiebreaker. Okay, now the recipe as promised. If you're heating it up, you're going to preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Then what you need is 1 heaping cup of finely chopped cooked broccoli. You want the broccoli to be quite soft because it has to mix in with everything. To get that 1 heaped cup of cooked broccoli, you can start with 2 heaping cups of frozen broccoli florets that you then cook according to the package directions and then chop up, or 2 heaping cups of fresh broccoli florets that you then steam or roast or anything you're going to do to make them nice and soft. Finally, chop those. Or if you already have cooked broccoli left over from dinner last night, you want 1 heaped cup of it finely chopped. Okay, so you get your broccoli, however you get your broccoli, and then you're going to get out a large bowl and you're going to mix together 8 ounces of softened cream cheese, 1/4 cup of sour cream, 1/4 cup of mayonnaise, and 1 garlic clove finely minced, or you can use a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. And to that, you are adding 1 cup of shredded sharp cheddar cheese. Now, that's if you're going to be heating it up. If you're going to heat it up, you're going to put 1 cup of cheese in this mixture, and then later when it's in the baking dish, you're going to put a 1/2 cup on top to bake it. If you are not planning to heat it up, you're going to put 1.5 cups of cheese in now, because we're not going to be putting any on top later. So it's either 1 cup if you're heating it or 1.5 cups if you're not, and mix that together. Your cream cheese, sour cream, mayonnaise, garlic, and cheddar. Once that is fully combined, you are adding in that cooked broccoli and also a 1/2 cup of finely chopped dill pickles. Stir that in just until evenly combined. Now, if you are going to have that cold, just put it in the fridge for 30 minutes. It kind of just lets all the flavors meld and combine and be nice together. If you are having it warm, spread it into a 1-quart baking dish, just like a little medium, little brownie dish kind of thing. Top it with that 1/2 cup of cheddar cheese, and you're baking it until it's heated through and the cheese on top is just starting to brown, about 20 minutes. I will say, if you want to make this ahead and bake it, you totally can. You're going to just top it with the cheese, cover it, put it in the fridge, and then either take it out 30 minutes before you want to heat it up so it's closer to room temperature, and then you bake it just like I said, 20 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Or if you want to take it straight from the fridge to the oven, loosely tent it with foil just so that it's going to heat up more quickly and the cheese won't burn. And then it's at 350 for the 20 minutes, then take the foil off and do another 5 to 10 minutes until heated through and starting to brown on the edges. And like I said, you've got to try this once hot and once cold and tell me which way you prefer. I cannot wait for you to try this. I know I've been talking about this one for a long time. I really am super excited. It is my favorite new thing, broccoli cheddar pickle dip. And if you make it, make sure you come back and leave a comment because I want people to know about it and share about it on social media. We can turn this into the dip that breaks everybody's spinach artichoke rut. Am I right? Okay, I will put the link to this recipe in the show notes for this podcast episode, or you can head to cookthestory.com/ROTD and get it there. Everything there is arranged by date, so it's helpful to know that today is November 18th of 2025. I am Christine Pittman from cookthestory.com, thecookful.com, the all-new chicken cookbook, and from cook42.us, and from this podcast, Recipe of the Day. I hope you have a great day. Let's get cooking.